Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Aaron. This is from the Ground Up RC. We're going to take a break from the Revo 3.3 while we wait on getting some parts. We got a 1/3 scale S1 pits right here that I've been building from scratch. We've already got the bottom wing done, and the fuselage roughly done, and the tail section's roughly done. But we're going to get started on that top wing. First thing we got to do is I'll show you what we got to do to cut out some ribs. Alright, so the first step to getting your wing ribs transferred over to your balsa is you're going to need to make a template of some sort. I usually use construction paper, and an easy way to do that is get yourself some carbon transfer paper, and when you do it, set the dark shiny side down. You slide that underneath there, set it on your construction paper. You'll set it down, lay it down right there on that. And when you trace this, you can either trace it with a pen or a pencil, little something pointy, and it transfers the mark onto your construction paper. I'll show you as soon as I get that done. There you go. You can see we got our ribs transferred on a one piece. You only need 1 or 2 pieces depending on how you want to lay them out on your wood. So we'll get that. We'll get these laid out, and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so here, this is basically how we're going to lay them down on the sheeting. I'm going to need 16 total of these ribs. So we'll probably just cut it right here and stack this. I should be able to get 6 ribs out of each sheet. And then I'm going to need 2 that are plywood like this one, 2 more that are plywood like this one, and then 2 out of balsa like this for the wingtip. Alright, here you see we got them all stacked up. Got our ribs set on top of there. I just use T-pins to hold it all together, stacked nicely. You want to make sure your edges are as flush as you can get them. I know that doesn't look super right, but the top sheet is smaller than the rest, so I wasn't super worried. And make sure your edges are flush. And then we'll go ahead and cut it out. Alright, there they are. They're all laid out on the plan. That's something I like to do, make sure I'm not missing any before I get ready to start building. I like to make sure that my square stock fits inside the holes exactly the way I like it to before I start gluing stuff. And we still got to finish these. You'll notice I got a hole drilled in here. That's the way I like to cut those out. Drill a hole, slide your scroll saw blade up through, and you can cut those out pretty easy. Alright, we got all our ribs cut out. Got our spars figured out. This plan doesn't have another half. It says coat it with oil, flip it over. I took it and had it copied, but it ended up being an inch shorter on the wingspan. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking these and I'm marking these so that when I flip it over, everything matches up. So we'll go ahead and trim these ends off and where they need to be, then we'll glue it up. Alright, we got everything laid out. We use some wax paper. Some people will use like parchment or saran wrap or whatever, but I like this. I can see through it fairly easy. Just cover where the glue's gonna drip, but got it laid out. Look like everything's gonna fit all right. We gotta fit the spar up here inside a little bit, but we'll just do that on a rib to rib basis. Let's get gluing. All right, normally after I get this all set up, I'll pull the ribs off to the side just a little bit and brush some wood glue on there and slide them back over till they're lined up. But somebody suggested just taking some thin CA and coming in here on the side and putting a drip in there and letting it wick in like that. So I'll give that a shot and see how strong it feels. Maybe I'll have to put a little fillet in there or something with some medium CA, but we'll give that a try and see how this wing feels. Alright, that first one glued up alright, so I think we're going to go ahead and do the second one. If you notice, put the ribs on the same side. We just flipped them upside down. And then if I do stuff like that, I like to come in and set them both on top of each other and make sure that they're all pretty well lined up. So make sure everything's kind of the same angle, which seems to be same spacing. And I think we'll go ahead and use that thin CA again on this one. Let's get going. Alrighty, well, we got that all done. I don't mind the way that thin CA works. So I went ahead and we glued the nose piece on. It's just a hard piece of balsa. And then next week we'll make up these round pieces, the ends of the wings, put those on. We'll put that strip of sheeting on the back, and then we'll figure out what we got to do to join these wings. Alrighty.